growing number of women entrepreneurs have decided to flip the conventions and go for a different business model with at the core of it being sustainable growth and positive social impact. On this note, I have the humble honor of inviting on stage Honorable Mrs. Kamana Devi Kunjusha, Minister of Gender Equality and Family Welfare, to share with us her local perspective of the circular economy. Thank you.
It is indeed my pleasure to be with you this morning, and I thank the organizing committee, namely the Association Mauricienne des Femmes Chefs d'Entreprise and the Work Committee of the Femmes Chefs d'Entreprise Mondiale, for inviting me, for extending this invitation for me to deliver a keynote address on the circular economy at this meeting. Allow me to also congratulate the Association Mauricienne des Femmes Chefs d'Entreprise for their excellent arrangements made in order to host this World Committee meeting in Mauritius, particularly bearing in mind that we're still going through the COVID-19 pandemic. You're all here having to sit down with your masks on, unfortunately. It takes a lot of different aspects to take into consideration when we think about organizing a committee of de cette envergure, of this scale, while we're still dealing with a pandemic like that of COVID-19. So this morning, ladies and gentlemen, the topical session on the circular economy, women entrepreneurs as a driving force of change, subject of discussions shortly by experts present here and online, is indeed very pertinent at this moment when the global economy is experiencing financial crisis due to, first of all, the unprecedented outbreak of COVID-19, and now, unfortunately, because of the Russia and Ukraine conflict. And additionally, because of the adverse climate change impact. All that I've mentioned so far have unfortunately impacted not only countries across the globe indistinctly, but adversely our women in all walks of life, as testified by so many reports and studies. Our inequalities have been exacerbated, and if we leave all this unattended, if policymakers leave all of these unattended, it is going to result in eventually extreme poverty. It will not be of any surprise to anybody present here that this situation is tantamount in stating that we will be witnessing a degree of feminization of poverty as well. This is why, like I said earlier on, and I strongly believe that, this international meeting of FCEM has all its timely importance in contributing to the package of solutions that we should consider to reverse any catastrophic trends, in particular those that will negatively impact our women. To spread the message of gender equality, the theme of United Nations observance of the International Women's Day for this year was Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. The United Nations believes that 2022 is pivotal for achieving gender equality in the context of climate change, environment, and disaster risk reduction. Today, women are the agent of change in several different fields. One buzzing idea where women business leaders have scripted enormous and admirable success is that of the circular economy, where it is argued that women are the driving force behind the transition from linear to circular economy. And this is not me stating it, it is according to the Economic Times of India. Ladies and gentlemen, micro, small and medium-sized enterprises and women-led enterprises in particular have been especially vulnerable to the impacts of the COVID-19 crisis. However, the crisis has also caused a dramatic shift in the business as usual approach and has paved the way for innovation, for greener growth, for sustainable development, and women-led. I'm convinced that women-led enterprises may be best equipped to take advantage of such opportunities in order to help address key challenges like we mentioned climate change, food security, water scarcity, and natural resource management. According to the World Economic Forum figures in 2019, over 92 billion tons of material were extracted and processed, contributing to about half of global carbon dioxide emissions. It is argued that circular economy, which, as we all know, promotes the elimination of waste and continual safe use of natural resources, circular economy therefore offers an alternative that can yield up to $4.5 trillion in economic benefits by 2030. Research has also shown that out of 100 billion tons of material extracted globally every year, only about 8.6% is recovered and reused, leaving out a significant circular gap. The adoption of new employment generating enterprises and greener jobs. In this sense, this can be the facilitator and a tool to achieve the different sustainable development goals set by the United Nations. Around the world, our women, our girls are already engaging in innovative, socially sensitive, inclusive, climate smart enterprises. We all know, and with no disrespect to the men present in the room today, women are already the engines to circular economy. They do it actually without realizing it in their daily lives. There are so many things that us as women we do, be it in the comfort of our household, our communities, or extended to our businesses. For example, at the household level, women are already adopting a circular culture when it comes to reducing food waste by better planning meals and grocery shopping, opting for food that is locally produced and without plastic packaging. In a nutshell, what I'm trying to convey here, ladies and gentlemen, women are already practicing the rule that is being preached. The 3 R's, like we say, reduce, recycle, and reuse when it comes to decisions that directly involve their family habits, their energy consumption patterns, and waste production. These habits can and should be encouraged to scale up the creation of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. In a bid to tackle waste management, as from the 15th of January last year, the government of the Republic of Mauritius came up with a banning of all plastic products, which have over the years been one of our greatest waste problems, polluting our oceans, killing wildlife, threatening our own health and existence. This has indeed been an area of innovation and creativity for women entrepreneurs to come up with such circular economy projects. With regard to RE, renewable energy, our women entrepreneurs are being made aware of how best to maximize on solar energy as well as rainwater harvesting for irrigation and back home gardening. The government is fully conscious, like stated earlier on by the Honourable Prime Minister, the government is fully conscious of the serious consequences resulting from the degradation of the environment due to plastic pollution and its impact on our quality of life, on our health and our economy. The vision of the Ministry of Environment, Solid Waste Management and Climate Change is to, and I quote, achieve a cleaner, greener and safer Mauritius in a sustainable manner through the protection and management of our environmental assets. To that end, a plastic waste management mechanism has been put in place to ensure the collection, the sorting out, the recycling of waste, thus shifting again from this linear approach to a very circular one, whereby resource recovery and recycling can be exploited. Ladies and gentlemen, it is paramount to have a sustainable growth, which can only happen through broader women's economic empowerment. And to that effect, my ministry, that our Gender Equality and Family Welfare, has secured the collaboration of the UNDP to conduct in the coming weeks a broad and a focused national consultation for a contextualized strategic direction for women entrepreneurship development in the Republic of Mauritius. The study will analyze the obstacles and challenges faced by our existing and our potential women entrepreneurs. This study will identify innovative opportunities of entrepreneurship, enhance use of digital platforms and sales outlets, and propose appropriate support and funding mechanism with a view to create a more conducive women entrepreneurial ecosystem for our women enterprises to thrive. In that respect, I will ensure that women entrepreneurial engagement in the circular economy will have a more prominent place as part of the national strategy for women empowerment. The National Women Entrepreneur Council, which has been providing support and assistance to both potential and existing women entrepreneurs in order to inculcate the right business culture for our women empowerment in Mauritius. That council will be called upon to play a more important role and provide greater impetus to the development of women entrepreneurial activities, not only within the confines of Mauritius, but across different regions, like we say, beyond the borders. The World Committee meeting of the FCEM in Mauritius comes at the right time. I'm confident that the discussions around the circular economy and recommendations will no doubt add value to the initiatives of my ministry, especially when our efforts are being geared towards giving a boost to women entrepreneurship development in Mauritius. I have no doubt, on the other hand, that the deliberations of your meeting will come up with frameworks that need to be policy frameworks that will have to be put in place so that we can address the climate change mitigation and adaptation strategies should be gender smart, women-led enterprises for a more equitable future. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important that investors who enter the field adopt a gender lens and consider more deeply on how to link circular economy, sustainable development, and gender through their investment processes. Failing to incorporate a gender dimension and harnessing women's full potential as agents of change in a circular economy strategy will reinforce, in fact, this discrimination and disadvantaged position women have faced historically and which we are all trying to now change. If the circular economy is to be a game changer for the production and consumption patterns, it must do so based on the principle of gender equality. It is equally important that women leadership and entrepreneurship are recognized and amplified in the fields of circular economy, climate technologies, clean energy transition, and that we boost up public awareness of the need to speed up the circular transition for a more inclusive and a greener society. It is very encouraging to see how diverse the panels of experts of the World Committee meeting are. My ministry will sustain its interventions to ensure that women entrepreneurs are well equipped with coping skills responsive to innovation that support this transition that we are talking about today. We are very much aware that we have a long and a very challenging journey ahead of us. Our ultimate common objective is to put heads together to bring about transformational change for women's economic empowerment and more meaningful and rightful contribution of our women in developmental initiatives. I wish you all a very good deliberation, an inspiring, a fruitful meeting, and thank you very much for listening to me with such attention. Very good day to all of you.
Madame la Ministre, vous m'avez autorisé tout à l'heure à parler français en me disant que vous avez 2 langues officielles à l'île Maurice. J'ai fait mon discours en anglais, je parle en français. J'ai beaucoup parlé de l'économie circulaire pendant mon discours, donc je serai très brève et nous aurons ensuite une vidéo de notre commissaire en charge de l'économie circulaire. Elle n'a pas pu se joindre à nous, elle est au Pérou, mais elle voulait être parmi nous. Si nous avons choisi ce thème, c'est parce qu'en 2019, nous avons signé un MOU avec l'UNIDO, dans lequel nous nous sommes engagés, nous, l'association des femmes chefs d'entreprise mondiale, à faire la promotion d'un certain nombre de thèmes fondamentaux pour le futur. Ces thèmes qui sont l'empowerment féminin, et le gender gap, bien sûr, la digitalisation, le développement durable, mais en particulier l'économie circulaire. Et nous avons fait le choix pour l'année 2022 de travailler sur l'économie circulaire. C'était, je pense, un bon choix parce que le pays qui nous reçoit pour notre comité, l'île Maurice, est un pays très engagé sur l'économie circulaire. Ça a été rappelé par le Premier ministre, vous venez de le rappeler. Je l'ai rappelé également. Donc, nous allons avoir une journée de travail, en tout cas une matinée de travail sur cette thématique que tous les pays reprennent. Et cela donnera lieu au mois de novembre, lorsque nous aurons le congrès mondial au Maroc, à la production d'un livre blanc que nous remettrons aux Nations Unies. Donc,